Blessings and welcome to today's Law Enforcement Daily Devotional. Today we're in Matthew 14, Mark 6, Luke 9, and John 6. So let's start in Matthew 14. And we're going to do a lot of Matthew, a little bit of Mark, but the parallel stories in Luke and John I'm not going to hit so much, just so you know. So in Matthew 14, we get the story where Jesus feeds the 5,000. The beginning of this story in verse 13, that Jesus originally went alone to find a quiet place to pray. And then immediately after he feeds the 5,000, he sends the disciples back so he can continue his goal of getting some quiet time. In verse 14, or chapter 14, verse 25, Jesus walks on the water out to the boat after the disciples had left by themselves. And when he gets to them, we get the story of Peter walking on the water and then falling. Well, and Jesus having to save him, basically. We focus a lot on the fact that Peter got distracted by the surrounding circumstances and started to sink. But the fact that he called out to Christ and had enough faith to say, "Call me and let me walk out to you," I think that's pretty cool. I think Peter was getting there. He was making progress. We jump over to Mark chapter 30, Mark 6:31, and Jesus says to his disciples, "Come away by yourselves to a secluded place and rest a while." Sometimes we forget just how important that rest is, and Jesus tries to teach his disciples that is important. Luke and John are also have stories about feeding the 5,000, and when you look at the Gospels, the feeding of the 5,000 is the only miracle that is in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's the only one that is in all four books. It's pretty cool. Then in Mark 6, John 6:15. So I'm going to cover something like John. Jesus, perceiving that they were intending to come and take him by force after he had fed everybody, he withdraws to a mountain to be by himself. And I always let me just say, the fact that they recognized, and by they I mean the crowd, they recognized that Jesus had the power to heal and had the power to raise from the dead. He had the power to cure. And now they see that he has the power to feed a vast army with just a little bit of food. And so they try and take him by force to make him king. Because with a king like that who can perform all these miracles, who could defeat him? So they had the right idea as far as believing that Jesus had this authority. They had the wrong idea in thinking that was what his purpose for coming here was. Short and sweet. Tomorrow we're going to be in John chapter 6, Matthew chapter 15, and Mark chapter 7. You'll see those on the last slide. And until then, you guys be safe.